Facepalm America. I'm Beowulf Rockland. Facepalmamerica.com is where you can go to find out more information about the show. Hello, how you doing? I love winter. I love this time of year. I love the holidays. And I hope you're enjoying them too. They started off for me a little before Thanksgiving with me and the rest of my family, each in turn, being sick for a total of about 3 weeks or so. That wasn't fun. But now that we've gotten past that, it is reasonably pleasant. We've got our tree up. We celebrated Hanukkah. The present exchange has begun because we have a birthday in the family at this time of year as well. So there's a lot going on. And it's very nice. It's very nice. The right wing, not so nice. The far right is not making things pleasant and jolly in any way, shape, or form. They've already done that for millions of women across the country in the form of the Dobbs decision that took down Roe versus Wade and eliminated reproductive rights and access to reproductive health care for millions and millions of women. But they don't want to stop there. It's not about life. And I've said this before, it's about controlling women and gaining power on that basis. And how do we know this? Because they want to make divorce more difficult. They want to make it harder. You know really who it was that kind of is responsible for making, or at least starting to make, divorce easier in this country? Or one of the people. I'm sure there were many others. I don't want to give him tons of credit, but it's a little ironic that he was involved. Ronald Reagan. This is from Mother Jones. In 1969, then California Governor Ronald Reagan signed the first no-fault divorce law into existence, allowing couples to legally separate without having to prove wrongdoing by one party. And it soon rippled out throughout the country. And that was a good thing. It was a good thing, especially for women. It bolstered economic independence and provided a safer route for domestic violence survivors. States that allowed one partner to solely push for divorce saw about a 20% decline in female suicide, per a 2003 working paper in the National Bureau of Economic Research. So, no-fault divorce, making divorce easier, has been a tangibly positive thing. It has saved lives. And now the far right wants to eliminate that, just as they've wanted to eliminate reproductive health for women, because they want to control women. And they're talking about it. And these are not people from the 1970s or 80s or 90s. This is people very recently. And Mother Jones has come up with a very interesting list, and I'm going to read a few of the entries here, where they're talking about how much they hate divorce, how much they don't like no-fault divorce, and how they want to essentially lock women into horrible situations. First on the list, Dusty Devers. That's a name for you, politician-wise, Dusty Devers. He is a state senator from Oklahoma who won the special primary election in October. District 32. What did he say? He said, I want to see pornography abolished. That's a whole separate issue. I want to see no-fault divorce come back to at-fault in divorce, and even public shaming for those who are at fault in divorce. I want to see abortion abolished. These are the kinds of morality and government issues that we need to get back to. And that is the modern Republican Party. That is the far right. And that is what they want to do. And it's not just state senators from Oklahoma. It's the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson. He's talked about weakening no-fault divorce laws. He's been talking about it for decades. In 2016, Johnson, in part, blamed no-fault laws, in addition to things like abortion access expanding, for our completely amoral society. that causes young people to go into their schoolhouse and open fire on their classmates. He's saying that school shootings aren't because of guns, but because women want to be able to get out of abusive marriages. That's what the Speaker of the House of Representatives says. Johnson and his wife Kelly, this is interesting, were one of the first couples in Louisiana to opt for what is called a covenant marriage, a religion-based contract that makes it significantly harder to get divorced. Don't sign up for that. That's right up there with timeshares in terms of things you should avoid, a covenant marriage. During his time volunteering at the Louisiana Family Forum, Johnson helped craft the covenant marriage bill. Louisiana is just one of 3 states. Arizona and Arkansas are the other 2, which give couples the option to choose a covenant marriage. Largely, and this is because basically people are smart, these marriages have been unpopular. Between 2000 and 2010, just about 1% of couples in Louisiana, including Speaker Mike Johnson, chose a covenant marriage. A fact that Johnson has chalked up to covenant marriages being just unknown. Well, it's got to do with more than that. It's the fact that covenant marriages are bad for women and other living people, bad for men too. So, another very prominent example of how Republicans, far right-wingers, want to control women with less access to divorce. There's also South Dakota State Representative Tony Randolph, a Republican. He's introduced a bill to remove irreconcilable differences as grounds for divorce each year since 2020. Around 97% of divorcing couples in South Dakota cite irreconcilable differences in their separation. Under the proposed law, Stanton Anker, a Rapid City-based attorney, explained, a woman abused by her husband would have to face him in court, and a controlling husband could force his wife to stay in the marriage unless she abandoned it or faced going to court to prove that he had done something wrong. Imagine how horrific that would be emotionally. It's disgusting, but it's something that Republican State Representative from South Dakota, Tony Randolph, wants to impose on women. And then there's Senator Tom Cotton. You've probably seen him, the guy from Arkansas that kind of looks like a giraffe. The important thing is that he acts like a fascist. Cotton is from Arkansas. They have covenant marriage as an option. And he is also, like Mike Johnson, opposed no-fault divorce. In fact, he once wrote about it as a Harvard undergrad. In a 1997 article in the Harvard Crimson, Cotton praises covenant marriages and blames feminists for lax divorce laws. Men are simple creatures. It doesn't take much to please us. The problem is women, he wrote in the first sentence. Hell of a guy, huh? And he's making policy for women and around divorce. Cotton then explains how he polled women on their greatest fears, to which he claims they answered, a man leaving them. That's what he talked about in his paper at Harvard. And he decries no-fault divorce. That's what they want to do. They want to lock women into motherhood against their will. They want to lock women into marriages against their will. They want to control women. So don't think they're going to stop at abortion. Don't think they're going to stop by eliminating reproductive freedom in as many places as they possibly can. They're after all of us. Beware. I want to thank Ace Elson and Rosabelle Hine for producing this program. I want to again encourage you to go to facepalmamerica.com to find out more about the show. I want you to tell a friend about this program and encourage them to listen. And until next time, enjoy the day.